anyway, we were going to go. Where was I? Talking about and we. I was pregnant
Yeah, with who?
with Larry.
Okay.
That's the only one I had.
No, you had Chris.
Well, I had Chris, but that was 7 years later.
Right.
Well, this was with Larry. I was pregnant down there with Stuart at Stuart, Florida, with him, and I would take the bus every morning to camp where I had a job at the PX, and I'd meet Joe there, and but I had to take the bus to get there. But I had morning sickness.
Oh, yeah.
And so I got crackers thinking maybe the crackers would help. But they didn't seem to be doing that much good. But the crackers, I'd get on the bus, and that bus driver got so he knows me, because he lets me off, and I get out and do my little duty at the side of the road with a whole busload of service people on the bus.
Yeah.
Then I get back on and go on to my job. And this would go on for several, I don't know, a week or so. And I'd take crackers and I think I'd be all right, and then I'd get sick. And he'd let me off and I'd do my duty and get back on the bus again. And I thought she'd get a kick out of that, because that was that's a true story.
Yeah, that's...
Because I worked there at the PX, and but I didn't like Florida. It was, I just wasn't happy. We had Stuart was in the bay, and you'd go out, there were 6 of us that rented a boat.
Yeah.
A big, that you had to row.
A rowboat?
A rowboat. It was a big one.
Yeah.
For 6 people. And we took our lunch one day and was going out on this little beach that was out in the bay, and which we did. We took our lunch and went out there. And while we were there, a storm come up.
Uh-oh.
So we decided we better get back to camp, because none of us knew, at the shore, none of us knew how to, do anything about it. But
yeah.
The boys started rowing the boat, and us girls had to bay with our leftover whatever we had to keep the boat going, because it looked like we might sink.
Too much water in the boat?
We were getting taking on a lot of water.
Yeah.
And it scared me to death, because I didn't swim. And
well, Grandpa swam, though.
Oh yeah, Grandpa swam.
He would have saved you.
He would have saved me if possible, but then there were 3 girls and 3 boys.
Yeah.
And but anyway, we rowed like crazy in that boat, but we wanted to save the boat too, because it wasn't ours. It belonged to the people who owned the boat.
Right.
Who had rented it to us. And we finally made it back to shore and out again, and everything was all right. But that was a story that I remembered from down there at Stuart, Florida. I didn't like Stuart, Florida. It was we had this old farmhouse, and we rented it from people who let us rent the farmhouse.
Right.
And us 3 girls had it. And you turn the light on. I had a bedroom. It was a bad bedroom. It was okay. But it had you had to turn the light on from a ceiling. There was no lamps or anything in the room.
Right.
But you turned that light on, and there were always bugs flying right at that lamp, and big ones. They didn't grow them little down there in Florida. They grew enormous big bugs. I hated it. But anyway, I stayed at Stewart for I don't know how long it was. But then I had to come back to Kansas City to have Larry. But